Hello and welcome to how I play my level 55 mage. So this is my level 55 mage, a gnome regardier. He's 55, as you can see. So we're going to go over spells. We're going to talk about what has changed down here since the last last episode where I was using reins. I've stopped using reins as much in the latest episode of Hobbs and Friends, but we got what we got right now. So let's kind of go over some of these spells here that I have memorized, and we'll go from there. So my main nuke that I have memorized right now is Scars of Sigil. This is a 622 point bolt spell. So if we just like pop that off right there, we can see boom, 691 with the bonus from the mage. So it's a pretty nice little spell. It's a quick cast, low mana, 135 mana. Not that bad at all, really. 16, and then we might get a crit on one of these here. We don't have a high crit chance yet. There we go. There's a crit. 1500. So it's a pretty good size nuke. Single target. Now that is pretty much the only spell I'm using at the moment. Now I want to bring back in the rains. We have two rain spells. This one does 630. This one does 324. I want to bring them back. I just haven't figured out the best way to do that because at the moment the mobs are... I hit a rain and all the mobs start attacking the mages, and then I have to manually go through each mob and just target because the tank does not have AoE taunt yet. At level 70, he does. So we're going to hold off on rains and AoEs until level 70 because we don't have an enchanter to do stuns. So our next best thing is AoE taunts to taunt everything at once. And so the rains are out now, but they'll come back. Now, I do have Scintillation here memorized. This is a point blank AoE, the 600. Both my mages have the exact same layout, so they both have it memorized. Now this is for if something starts going bad and there's a lot of mobs, I can start AoEing them down and sacrifice the mages, if you will. So it's there if I need to do that, but it is what it is right now. I'm only doing Scars of Sigil. Next up I have Boon of Immolation, which is our group damage shield buff. Just gives everybody a nice little damage shield. Burnout 4 is the current pet haste. It currently increases their attack speed, armor class, and all that stuff. Now, my current pet is the level 54 water pet. You can see it right here. He's nice and happy. Let's go behind the mob here. Let's see what he's doing damage-wise. So the last one was doing like 56 damage. Let's see what this guy is doing now. 56. There we go. He backstabbed for 101, and then he's hitting for about 56. 69 backstab, 56 max hit. But he's hitting pretty fast. Like, he's dual wielding. You can see swinging both arms on the pet there. So it's a fairly decent pet. 172 backstab. Now, ideally, you want the pet to be attacking from behind, so he can actually do the backstabs. But the way I play, that's, hit or miss. So it is what it is. Next up, I have Call of Hero, which just literally summons a player. Like, I'll target my bard, I'll summon her right over here. And this is probably the best spell in the game for boxing. Well, let's say second best, because there's an upgrade to it at like level 90 something or 100 that summons the whole group. And it just summons the character right to me. Very good for positioning characters, very good for just moving around the zone quickly. Like, I can run my mage like wherever I want in the zone, call a hero everybody to him, and whatnot. And I have two mages, so I call a hero the mage, the other mage, and then I can just summon the whole group really quick. So works really well. I like it a lot. And then next up I have Elemental Draw, which is a mana regeneration spell that sacrifices pet health. So if I hit it right now, you see the pet loses about 25% of his life, let's say. So, and then it gives me this buff, Elemental Draw Discourse, which gives me a little bit of mana regen, and I believe it causes me to regenerate mana faster. So I believe it's that one. I never even knew we had this spell until I was looking through my spells. I had always skipped it on all my other mages leveling up. But it's a pretty good one. Now, I do use the aura button now. So Earth and Strength is the aura I use. So let's go ahead and click that. Now, let's see if I can get the stat effect on this. Augments your pet with Earth and Strength, which increases their melee damage by 5%. Will also augment nearby pets the same amount. Now, so you can see here on my pet is Earth and Strength. Now, if we go over here to the Warder, has Earth and Strength. Now, both mages are casting Earth and Strength on their pet and whatnot. So you see here, all the pets are benefiting from that. They're doing 5% more damage. So definitely want to have that out there and going at all times. None of those are functional yet because we don't have those abilities. But for the most part, that's like the gist of it. Nothing really's changed down here, except I removed the rain spells because these guys were pulling too much aggro and it was just becoming annoying for me. They can, he can take the hit, right? He's got 11,000 hit points, but it's still annoying, like, having mobs ping pong around when they don't need to be. So it's just, it is what it is, getting that taken care of there. Let's see here. All those are the same. All that's the same. All that's the same. All that's the same. All that's the same. So everything else is the same from the level 50 video. Let's talk a little about gear. So at this point, you want to start replacing your gear and getting Defiant. Intricate Defiant is going to be some of the better stuff. Like if we go Defiant, there are a lot of options if we sort by like price and stuff like that. You can get some stuff pretty cheap, like this Elegant Quick Claw is 100. It's not that bad, I guess. Hey, like here's a Flawed Silk, which has improved damage 3 on it, so that would be a nice little, bonus damage to your spells. I don't believe I have improved damage on any of my stuff at the moment, so that would be, and it, right away, that would be an upgrade for this character. Intricate, there's not much cloth here. I'm not seeing, here's some cloth sandals. Spell haste, you're going to want that. You're going to want all that stuff, if you can get a hold of it, right? You can either buy it for, these prices are pretty reasonable right here on this stuff. I'm trying to find like the higher level stuff. The price starts ramping up pretty quick, but here we go. Simple robe. That's, nice robe. It's almost as good as this one right here. Like it's got less stats, but it's got HP and mana regen. It's like, you want to be in Defiant, so that's kind of where that goes. I still say the two-hand is the best thing. As soon as you can get a procking two-hander that has sympathetic procs on it, you're going to want to switch to that. Whatever that is, I don't know what level. We will get our first one of those, but it is what it is. Now, when we get AoE Taunt on the Shadow Knight, we will be switching back the rains, so whatever rain levels those are. And I'll probably put the point blank AoE in there at the same time. Like if we cast these, right? Cast this one. Let's see what the cooldown on these is real quick. So that's an 11-second cooldown. If we had Spell Haste, these would cast a little bit faster, I believe. Rain of Swords, so I could get the point blank AoE out at the same time, and then this one is up. So it would be a choice between Scars of Sigil and the other AoE. I'd probably go with Scars, honestly, at this point. But if I had them all in the multi-bind, that's how it would end up. And it's it's a lot of damage. I prefer the single target damage for right now, just because it's easier to manage the aggro with what the tools I have. But that is pretty much everything. Short-term buffs is slightly changed so that it does damage shield and then elemental draw. So I can kind of keep that buff up at all times, right? But there we go. That's how I play my 55 Mage. I think as we get into getting closer to level 60, at 60 or at 59, we're going to get a bunch of AAs that will change up how we play. We did get at 55, we got a lot of crit AAs, so now we start critting stuff. At 55 or 60, we should get some of the more useful stuff. Plus, we're going to get a really nice level 60 spells that are doing, massive amounts of damage. I think there's like a 1500 nuke or something like that. So it's pretty crazy when we get there, and how powerful the mage will be then. But 55, it's pretty, Call Hero is probably the signature spell that we get at 55 that really starts making the mage class really feel like a really good character to have in your group. But thank you very much for watching, and please have a fantastic day. Any questions or comments, please leave them down below. Love everyone.